Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a Cloudy Sheep and we are playing Rule the Waves. We are playing as the US in our second big war against Russia. War has been going on for 5 months, which were okay for us. We managed to sink a couple of ships, mostly light ships, light cruisers and destroyers in the Caribbean and in the Far East, which all in all improved the situation somewhat for us. We are, I would suppose, you can say dominant vis-a-vis Russia. We have many more battleships, a couple of more battle cruisers, so I'm really optimistic that things should be going our way, and indeed we are on top of them in terms of victory points. Our strategy, broadly speaking, is that we have this triangular situation over here with the North American East Coast, our home zone over here, and the Russian home zone in Northern Europe over here, and the Caribbean down here. Now, they don't have any base in our home zone, we don't have any base there, so it's very dangerous to venture into each other's home zone with a big fleet, so we're not doing that for now. We are concentrating on fighting each other really in the Caribbean, and they do have one battleship down here. Yeah, which is in fact their only battleship, the Tsarevich, if I'm not mistaken. Can we open up ships? There we go, Tsarevich, there we go. So yeah, bit of an oldish ship really, 10 years by now. So yeah, we'll hope to catch them, we'll hope to whittle them down a bit, and crucially, we hope to trigger an invasion of Cuba, which does belong right now to the Russians, except for Guantanamo Bay. And yeah, if we can eliminate that threat, we'll probably venture into Northern Europe and try to blockade them, and really carry home victory. Simultaneously, we are trying to keep things clean here in the Far East, which of course does belong to Russia quite extensively. But nevertheless, I think we have some presence here, 2 light and 2 heavy cruisers. 1 light cruiser is currently in dockyard because he hit a mine. And yeah, Russia doesn't really have anything. They are shuffling around some troops, but not that much, to be honest. They are also concentrating more on the Caribbean. In the meantime, we are building a couple of ships, a couple of minesweepers specifically to target their very big submarine fleet, and some more ships, a couple of light cruisers, some Raleighs, which were a bit of a design disappointment, some Providences, which tried to rectify that, and 2 cruisers, a light cruiser catcher, and the mighty Jefferson. Right. That being said, I think what we want to do is design a couple of additional things, namely motorboat squadrons. Thanks for pointing that out. They are in fact under the coastal fortification category, and I think it might be worthwhile to grab a couple of these. Now, the way that I think motorboat squadrons could be used best, maybe, is against capital ships. So I don't think they'll be particularly useful against destroyers, because destroyers are so fast and even and have quick firing weapons. So I don't think they'd be very useful against small ships. Now, where would I expect big ships? I wouldn't really hope that anyone is in my home zone, but I think the Mediterranean might be a very good theater for that. Italy, of course, Austria-Hungary, all have positions here, as do the French, and now we as well in Algeria. So I think that would be a very good spot. Caribbean maybe too. If we ever get into a war with Russia, with the UK, and the North American East Coast would also be a good sector for that. And lastly, in the Far East, I don't expect the Russians to have a lot of presence, but of course the Japanese do. So, you know, these guys are really inexpensive. I mean, they're costing 300,000 to build. They have maintenance cost of 20, so that's about a 7-inch coastal battery in terms of maintenance costs, but a fraction of the cost to build them. So, yeah, I think we want to get a couple of these. Let's in fact build 2 in the Mediterranean, which I would also hope is favorable weather. Oh, it needs to be Algeria then. There we go. Build. And let's put more of those. I think we'd want to get at least one You know what? Let's make it 3 in the Mediterranean, just so we get a sort of critical mass there. And let's build 2 in the Far East. So here, Tongue Peninsula. Oh, here, Tongue Peninsula. There we go. I think that's a good start. Also in the Mediterranean, of course, we do see that the Russians have some squadron there, so let's build that up. We want to base it in Guantanamo. I think. I'm not sure whether that is truly the case, but maybe let's build them in Puerto Rico. For no other reason than I think that more of our battles were around Puerto Rico or maybe this. So these bases can support each other somewhat. So, maybe that works. All in all, that I think should be very fine. I don't think we need any more coastal batteries in place. Our budget is okay. We are losing money, but not at a very critical pace. So I think that's fine. Maybe a couple of more mine-laying submarines might be very nice. And they are a bit more expensive, but then again, they also lay mines. So yeah, let's build maybe 5 more of those. Get our light fleets up a bit. We are running out of money at some point, but let's see whether that it will really be a critical issue. Right then, lastly, before we take the next turn and hope for the battleship engagement here, I am going to restrict our submarines to fleet support, because I don't in fact want anyone else to be involved at this point. British new light cruiser, 31 knots. That's a bit of a disappointment. 5 6-inch guns. 4 torpedo, yeah. Right, that's a bit of a pity, because at 31 knots our Sioux class will not be able to catch them. And that is important information. Dead end, weight saving, that's a pity. This one is of course excellent. 2 US submarines sunk, that's not so nice. 4 Russian submarines sunk, though that is very nice indeed. Cruise action, I don't think they can do that. Right. And here we go. Our Lexington class battlecruiser is intercepting an enemy ship. Let's see when we find it. There we go. So here we go. I think that should be a light cruiser. Let's get all of these things up here. So what have we got here? We have got 8 12-inch guns. I think that's an okay layout. It should be relatively fast, so let's make sure we try to catch that. Let's take 5-minute turns for now, though. I think, what we think can directly go to continuous rounds here. At some point I would want you to hit, really. It's early morning, so that's good to see. We are closing in. I think there was a hit. We only have, of course, 4 of the... There we go, another hit with the 12-inch gun. Are you... No, still at 20 knots. Let's try to cut behind it somewhat, so we can use more of our guns. Right, come on, there are hits. I saw that. Don't want to get too close, otherwise we'll just get torpedoed, and that's always very, very annoying to lose a big ship to a small ship. But then again, yeah. I think they are losing speed and being hit much more often now. Yeah. Now they're nearly dead in the water. And that means we can go on slightly smaller, slower speed. Sea state is limiting ship speed. Yeah, there we go. Very nice. Yeah, very clean action actually. They didn't even hit us once, and there's Vladimir up here. Small ship actually, but yeah, entirely wrecked. Oh, also only 4-inch guns. That's interesting. Good, many more points. Very nice. Germany is scrapping stuff. Not that much to see. Ooh, steel shortage evidently for one of the miners. France commissioning a battleship. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good to see. Right then. No specific damage except for this Des Moines in Northeast Asia, which ran on a mine at some point. Some holding class for whatever reason. Yeah. So nothing too serious. Okay. Good to see. What else have we got? There we go. Can I? Thank you. Okay, good. All of this is being still constructed. Let's see whether the Russians have done any funny movements. Still a light cruiser up here and a couple of, well, one armed merchant cruiser. Nothing up here? Well, a bit. How did they get that so quickly? Yeah, they are concentrating maybe a couple of light cruisers there, so... But it's fine, we do have 2 heavy cruisers. Also, we have 2 heavy cruisers in Southeast Asia. We do. Can you move back to Northeast Asia? This guy is on colonial, on foreign stations, so that's why he's shifting around that much, but I think that should be fine. Here is still a battleship, the battle cruiser is still up here, so okay, that's nice, that's lovely to see. Commissioning a lot of ships into the navy. Yes, mostly minesweepers. Us gaining, we can secure even better terms. We should not let them off cheaply, we'll press for hard terms. That I think sounds very good. Oh, come on! I'm not sure whether that was the correct answer. Alright. So allowed value is 6. Baltic states and Finland still out of reach. I think then we will claim Cuba. It makes the most sense. Alright. Germany scrapping. Okay. Well then, let's reconsolidate everything. I think this stuff that is under construction is still fine, although maybe the submarines are... Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to balance the budget quite drastically again. That was a much shorter war than I had hoped. Nevertheless, let's pick everyone in the Caribbean. And shall we send all of you home, or shall we leave a destroyer squadron? Maybe the Stuarts? I think we should maybe leave the Stuarts in the Caribbean. You guys all move to the East Coast. You guys all East Coast. Yeah, there we go. That's fine then. The Stuarts, all of the stuff that we have in Northeast Asia, the Des Moines, I think can... You know what, stay here, why not? West Coast, the Bainbridges, go to reserve station. I know it's not much, but yes please. Right, and on the East Coast, all of our minesweepers, I think you all can go to Mothbot. Yes, 300,000 saved, so that's good to see. The Illinois, it was nice to have you around. I think your time is up. It's been too long. So there we go. I think that's probably very good. Why are you so much more expensive actually than the other guys? No, you're not. Never mind then. I misread that. Okay. You're mothballed. You are moving around. You on the East Coast. Um, yeah, we really need to reduce the budget. We should also think about this to go medium, 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 I think on ship design we actually want to be high, as we want to be on the guns. Everything else to me seems fine. Yeah, so let's give it like so. Right. I think once everything comes back to North Asia, the East Coast, I think we will look at it in more detail. You guys though, I think we're going to put to reserve the Des Moines. We have a couple of raiders. Maybe in the Mediterranean even? Let's see. There you go, these Des Moines. I think you are also going to be put in reserve. Rather, you guys are going to be moved to the East Coast and going to be put in reserve there. The Stewards, can we put you in reserve in the Caribbean? For some reason we can. So that's okay. Northeast Asia, the Des Moines again, I think, can we put you to reserve? Not in a non-home area, so you guys actually move to the West Coast. I know one of them won't really move, but never mind. Good. Good. So, East Coast. Couple of things in active stations. These are moving. Then we have the battle cruisers. Older battle cruisers, in fact. I think for now, with the very low level of tensions up here, we can actually put them to reserve, not mothball, just reserve. At least the older ships, the Californias too, probably when they get home. Right then, zoom out, and of course, let's briefly look at new, somewhat cleaner disposition up here. So that's very nice to see. And coastal fortifications, yes, you're all building. That is all costing money. I think we might have to reduce research somewhat for the meantime. But yeah, can we? No, can not put you into reserve or anything. Let's keep this going for now, because it does reduce costs slightly, so that's good to see. Although that now means I need to find these guys. There we go. You directly go to mothball, please. Then we have all of the stuff on the west coast, on the east coast now. California's also going to go to reserve. They're not really the most recent ships, to be honest. The Oklahomas are much better. In terms of battle cruisers, I think Congress and Constitution should remain active for now. Anyway, what else have we got? The Tacomas are pretty recent ships, as are the Raleighs. Everything else though, specifically you are reserved already. Okay, some of them are still returning home. How about on the west coast? I think we have the... Did we have... Yeah, the Des Moines. We got a reserve. It's a little bit of money. Every little bit helps. So, we have enough money for about 10 turns. That's not quite enough at the current build pace, but I think we should be fine. There will be... Ooh, I get the designs for Minesweeper. Okay, build a ship to counter this Minesweeper. Yeah, so, sorry about the irony. Okay, so in fact we have money for 12 rounds, and that should, I think, Right, so we don't need to put that much more stuff on reserve or anything like that, but I would like to take these demons up here just so we are a bit more consistent in that application. You here, I think I wanted to move you to the west coast. Thank you. Active, reserve, active. Raleighs and Tacomas as the latest class will stay in active fleet. Caribbean, that is all fine. Bannings, active, yes. So pretty much consistently the latest ships classes are active. Everyone else is put on reserve. I think that's fine. Right, who would we want to engage in a war with? Do we want to go into a last, final big war against Great Britain? To free up Canada and all the Caribbean and everything else? Let's do that. Maybe we'll get a fun battle. Money, I'm not entirely sure why our funds are increasing, but you know, I'm gonna take it. So let's also briefly look at the Constitution clause up here. I think I want to increase the elevation on the turrets, and that is something that we'll briefly just get for everyone. Improved director, of course, that is fine. Everything else seems to be fine, and no mines to be taken on this ship. So pretty small change actually, but I think still a good one. Would it make sense to pack? No. Would not. So let's open the Constitution for rebuild. Increased elevation, yes, that's it, thank you. No, let's actually grab both of them at the same time. You guys rebuild to the latest standard, yes please. Of course that is going to reduce our available money further. We're also going to do the same for the Lexington, even though with the 12-inch guns it's not quite as good. You have a good number of guns, so improved director, yes. So yes, yes, and the other one as well. Thanks. Again, money is decreasing, but then again, you know, these refits don't really cost the world, so that should be fine. Oklahoma, of course, just as well. Improved director, yes. Thank you, that looks fantastic. Let's do that. And for the other one as well, of course, you be rebuilt. Nevada, you know what we're gonna do. Improved director, fantastic. Oh, is that something that you can refit? Oh no, I didn't open it for rebuild, so there we go, my bad. Yeah, save, thank you, yes. We only have one ship of the Nevada class. There was never any other one. I don't think there was a New Mexico at all that blew up in our face. No. That's just lies. And then California. Now with the California, it's been some time, you know, it's a ship from, you can see that, yeah, it's 10 years old. What would happen if we replaced the machinery? How much weight would that be saving? 100 tons, I don't think that's worth it, because the rebuild costs just go up way too much. So let's open this for rebuild. Let's get this done. You have the improved director, fine, yes, yes. Do you think so? There we go, and you be rebuilt. And lastly, we're gonna do that maybe for the Pueblo. How about you? You could do with a better director. You could do this. Can you carry mines? No, you can't. There's no way we're gonna get this to be much faster. But I think it's fine. How can we... Would it be sensible to do something like that? Probably not. So let's not do that. Let's simply open this for rebuild. Get you the improved director. Get you increased elevation. Thank you. Go ahead. Yeah. You can be rebuilt. Excellent. So I think with this we will call this episode to a close, and we'll see whether we get into a war with the UK. It's in about a year maybe, and then we'll finish them off hopefully, and we're gonna see. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.